Hey guys, so pretty big update for you this week. So last time I updated, I think I mentioned starting to get the NSTs here in Potsdam in addition to the ones at Burlington each week. So last Friday I had my first NST here. Took forever, but all was good. And then on Wednesday of this week, I went to Burlington for my BPP and NST. And he passed the NST fine, the non-stress test, and then for the rest of the BPP, he scored like 6 out of 8, so he got like an 8 out of 10 on the BPP as a whole, just because he missed the practice breathing, which is pretty common. Not a big deal. You still pass at an 8 out of 10, and he was doing it, just not for like a long enough period of time that they could like count it. And then they did like the Dopplers for the umbilical cord and checked the amniotic fluid and all of that. So I left Burlington, but it's every 2 weeks right now. I'm meeting with a OB, and this week was supposed to be the week that I was supposed to meet with somebody, but I guess they couldn't schedule me in person. I guess they were all booked up. So I left Wednesday. It was actually a really late appointment, so I got home really late, and then Thursday morning I had a telemedicine call with one of the OBs. And his umbilical cord numbers, like, I know I've shared that they haven't been great. They've been in that like elevated, which means like the restricted flow numbers for the last couple weeks. And they've been getting progressively like worse and worse. Anything over a 95 is considered abnormal percentage wise, and he was at like a 96 and then a 98. And then this week he was at like a greater than 99%, which means that there's very little forward flow happening at this point. And so when I was talking to my OB yesterday, she wanted to make sure that I was prepared that like this coming week or maybe the following week, if I go in and that little forward flow that's currently in the umbilical cord turns to no flow or reverse flow, that they're just gonna say, okay, baby time, like it's time to deliver. So we always knew that that was a possibility. And like just hearing from other moms with children with Down syndrome, it's really common for them to come pretty early, especially if they have like different cord flow issues going on. But until like this past week, the numbers were like elevated, but we weren't quite at the point where like, yeah, next appointment, like be ready. And so, it looks like we're there. I mean, anything can happen. Like maybe it'll go back down. But John and I are now prepared that he might come this coming Wednesday or the next Wednesday or longer. But thankfully John's work is being really kind and letting him come with me this coming Wednesday just in case, because if they keep me to deliver, it'd be great if he was there. So yeah, that's where we're at. We will keep you guys updated. Continued prayers, especially now that like delivery is looking like it may be coming up quicker than we thought, just for the whole delivery process, for him to do as great as possible and us to get to spend as much time with him as possible and as short of a NICU stay as possible. Yeah, and just that God's with us in the middle of it all and we feel his like peace and presence and joy, even though it's crazy and a little scary. But I'm 34 weeks now. By next Wednesday I'll be one day shy of 35 weeks, so even if it's next Wednesday, he's still pretty far along. Like full term, or term is 37 weeks, and so he would only be really like 2 weeks premature. So hopefully he does well even if he comes as early as next week.